Hello and good evening, everybody. Welcome to the U.S. National Park Service Cantrell Country Travelway Show. As you know, my name's Dave Cantrell. I'm the agent owner of Cantrell Country Travelway Travel Agency. And my good friend and host, Richard, my partner, Channel Bloom and Cheesa. We both love traveling and all that. But we have both started out much doing this is actually kind of like a second channel for me. We both love doing our Disney stuff. So we will fill everybody in on those channels at a later date as we go throughout the show. But tonight we're here to talk about one of the things that I love. And honestly, you've been to Gatlinburg. I've been to Gatlinburg. I mean, I've gone through the Blue Ridge Parkway, throughout Kentucky, Tennessee, and or through Kentucky, Virginia, all the way through the Shenandoah. I've been into the Shenandoah Valley. I mean, it's just absolutely gorgeous. There's just something. There's two. I don't know about you, Richard, but when I think about vacationing and thinking about what is it going to take to de-stress me, I mean, besides my faith, that's the first thing that de-stresses me automatically.
Yeah.
But when I'm talking about de-stressing as far as the body, giving the body the relax and all that, there's I can only think of three things that I really love. One, I'll be at a Disney park.
Yeah.
Two, I will be on a cruise. Or three, you will find me at some national park.
Yes.
Whether it's a historical park, national forest park,
You do like your historical cities too, though.
Yes.
Some of them, you know very well, so.
Oh, yeah. There's Dave Stragan. Welcome in, buddy.
The one down there that you always go to.
Yeah. Oh, you mean St. Augustine? Yes.
Yes, St. Augustine.
That's definitely my go-to. That is my go-to city.
Yep.
That's
the one you can kind of relate to, though. So.
Yeah. Well, it's the one that we all should be related because it's whether you want to admit it or not, it is the first city within the U.S.
Yes.
I mean, you got to figure the Spaniards were here 60 years long before the English put foot on the Plymouth Rock.
Yep.
So, but speaking of interesting, we're talking about some early history here.
Yeah.
We're going to talk about another park, and just to give you guys a refresher, the two. Now I know we didn't go last week, and I don't remember if I did the week before. I don't know. I think we did the week before, right?
I
think that was a video, but we're going live tonight. But we're going to finish up with the oldest and we're talking the oldest national.
The first national park that was ever made. The one that started the trend of having so many that we have.
And this park actually was started in 1864.
Yep.
It was officially made a park in 1890s.
Yes.
In the 1890s. It added the Marsupial Grove later in around 1896, 1897. But then the National Park Service, which came into founding, was in around 1907.
Okay.
And John Muir, anybody that has been in the national travel or tourism sector has heard the name John Muir.
Yeah.
He's a big name in the National Park Service.
Yes.
He was a concert. And if you're if you're a conservationist, anybody that studies national wilderness, forests, and ecosystems will know the name John Muir because he was a conservationist, probably one of the early leading conservationists.
Okay.
He was very well. He was well known with obviously Theodore Roosevelt, who actually signed the National Park Service bill. That formed the National Park Service within the which now falls under the Department of Interior.
Yes, but that was before that happened. So
yes,
yeah.
This
was one of the only parks that was there the whole time. That
right. I think the National Park Service fell under some other department at that time, but then eventually, when the Department of Interior came into the line, it fell into the Department of Interior. So, just a little bit of history. Yosemite actually is two different areas. It was actually Yosemite was the first national park. Again, Marsupial was later added to, and it is one of the largest national parks the U.S. has.
Yes.
I think the only other one they might outdo that, because I do believe it is bigger than the Grand Canyon.
Yes.
The only other one that might come close to it is Yellowstone National Park.
Yeah, Yellowstone National Park, which that'll be a fun one to dive into also.
Which we will, because I love old space. Yeah. I always wanted to put somebody out and see if we can launch them into space that way, but
Yeah.
If we try that, we might get banned for life from the park.
Oh boy.
So I wouldn't recommend doing that for real, people.
Yeah.
Besides that, there have been some crazy people who have gone to you think about how hot some of those. Now I'm trying to think the term for them. The
holes, the blowholes.
The water. There's a specific name for them, but I can't think of it.
Geysers.
Geysers.
Yes. Yep.
Think about, and here's the thing about it. People don't understand those geysers. They're extremely hot water because it's coming from the earth thing.
Yeah, Old Faithful.
Yeah, well, not just Old Faithful, but remember
I know that was the one everyone knows, though. That's the one everyone knows.
But you go to some of the other geysers that are within the
There's more than one.
Yeah. They're extremely heat, and people have tried to go in there and touch it and actually have gotten burned.
Yep. It's a compressed air from pockets of air that are underneath the ground. So they can be fueled by lava or some other unknown substance, water, things like that.
Correct. Welcome in, Nathan. Good to see you, buddy.
Hello.
And we're about to go to give it a second. There we go. Maybe it'll play nice with us today.
Yeah. Okay.
I hope you guys are having a great start to your weekend. As we all, Mondays are always so rough to get started. And then by the time you get ready to rest over the weekend, it's Monday again.
Yeah.
That's the problem with weekends. They go too fast, especially if you got two things. Like yesterday, Saturday, I spent all day with my cousin getting things done around the outside, which we had to.
Cool.
Had to do the adult world thing.
Yeah.
So any of you guys that have been in here or have watched the pre-recorded for the last couple of shows on the national parks, we have been talking about the Yosemite National Valley.
Yes.
It is, again, for you guys that have just come in, we just briefly went over the history of it. Again, the only thing we'll say is that it is in fact the oldest of all the U.S. national parks.
Yes.
It is in the southern part of California, and it actually sits on. I want to say it sits on the southern part of California, near just inside the California state line, bordering Nevada.
Okay.
If I
People
saw
think
the
it's
map
in
right,
Nevada. It's not.
it's not in Nevada. I'm just saying if
It's
I'm
on the
right,
very corner. People think it's in Nevada, though. A lot of
it is
people do.
right. No.
It's
I'm
right
not saying
there.
it's in Nevada. I'm just saying it sits near the border of California and Nevada.
I think it is the border for Nevada,
But
by the way.
it is all in. It is, but because it is it is a few hours from San Diego, just to the southeast of San Diego. So that would put it, if I'm right, and you can verify it because you're from the West Coast, that would make it in that Bend part of California. Am I correct, Richard?
Yeah, I believe one of the top corner pieces of it, if I
Right.
remember correctly.
So it is in the South part, but it is all totally in the state of California. It just sits right on the border of it. It's in California, but it sits near the park edge. Sits right on just before the Nevada California state line.
I think the nearest town is in Nevada, but it's not in Nevada. So
correct. No, the whole park is in the southern
it's
part
in California, but it's close enough to Nevada. That's the closest town.
Correct.
Yes.
So, but it is a beautiful park. From what I've seen. In fact, we're going to talk about it. Just kind of review it. I mean, what do you think of some of those? What do you think of some of the history pictures that we looked at a couple of weeks ago, and the nature? Well,
yeah, it was nature, and then we watched a little bit of video too. I like the videos that we've seen.
Yes,
too.
It was a national park, and I love the fact that it explains.
Yep, it goes
what
in
activities
depth.
are in there, and people don't understand. Now, I do understand that you have to be a nature lover. You really do.
There's certain people for that. My sister's not one of them, and I am. So,
I mean, I could see me camping. I mean, for most. Now, I will say this: I wouldn't do a camp thing, but I could see me renting an RV and camping a what do they call that? A glamour camper.
Yeah, you'd be glamping.
I would be a glamour camper because I do gotta have some of my luxuries.
Nope, I don't care if I have luxuries or not. It's more being out in the open for me. I'll hike up to a lake if I have to.
Here's the thing about it. Would I say no to using tents and camping? No, I wouldn't.
Yeah, it's out in the open, fresh air.
Doing that with Boy Scouts, and I've camped.
Oh, I love doing that. Yeah,
I've done it in wintertime camping, which is
I have too. I've gotten snowed in while camping before.
Well, I hope you were prepared.
Yes,
but
yes.
So, and I do recommend that if you want to learn or if you want to see pictures of the old Yosemite from the early 1900s to the 1930s and the 1940s. Now, I know Richard wasn't here for that week when we looked at those pictures. It's really interesting. You can go to the end. If you really want to check out Yosemite Valley Park, go to www.nps.gov/Yosemite. And then you'll see the different areas that you can log into that'll talk to you about the different parts of the park, safety, travel tips, planning parks. It'll even give you the warrant. I will tell you that during the summer months, again, the one thing you'll have to learn is that if you do go to the Yosemite, you have to have reservations to get in the park. So the recommendation is that you either hit it, if you really want to get in and do some of the activities, get in either early morning or late evening. I would say about 4, maybe 3:30, 4 o'clock to 5. Because you can expect a 2 to 3 hour. I mean, if you try to get in there during the day, you're going to be stuck in traffic for about 2 to 3 hours. That's kind of the traffic that this national park gets. So I mean, you can look at pictures. It'll talk about that. I've actually gone through the different parts of where the parks are and some of the different trails, and obviously me and Richard were having we were having fun about 2 weeks ago when we did the pre-recorded one with what did you think of some of those flowers we were looking at, Richard?
Yeah, those were neat. Yeah.
And trust me, there was some weird looking ones too. I will admit that there were some flowers that actually looked like they might have been planted from aliens from Area 51.
Yeah.
I'm thinking they might have snicked. I'm thinking that those guys might have snuck over from Nevada and planted some of these weird looking flowers. I mean, some of them have weird. There were so many weird names to some of those flowers you couldn't even pronounce them.
Yes.
Especially the flower. What flower family they came from?
Yeah. Yeah. Scientific names are always fun to pronounce anyway. For anything.
Yes, but they all
flowers, birds, animals, humans. Yeah.
And the thing of it is, they tend to be weird names at that.
Yeah.
But again, if you look at them, if you love the beauty and the nature of it, you're gonna look beyond. And there was a lot of weird ones, but if we like me and Richard were looking at some of them, we looked at beyond the beauty of some of them. Were like, okay, they're ugly looking, but interesting. I mean, we saw some that actually looked like they could have actually been in the garden from Alice in Wonderland. The animation Alice in Wonderland.
Yeah.
Which was unique.
Another thing, if you're going to talk about the times, you can also think about the times a year which would be better for what you want to see for this place, which is Yosemite, and it says that November through July you'll be able to see the waterfalls. That's when it usually shows. But if you're there during the different time other than that, November through July, then you won't be able to see the waterfall. It'll be dried up. It won't be flowing off of the peak.
Well, and you'll get to see some of that, which bring me up. Why don't we hit the summer visiting during the summer video?
Perfect timing. Ooh. Yeah.
Welcome to Yosemite National Park. Yosemite is famous for its spectacular cliffs and waterfalls, giant sequoias, granite domes, and world-class scenery. You may only have one day to see this place, and we hope to help you make the most of it. First, here's the big picture. Yosemite Valley is just one sliver in a vast park. Nearly 95% of Yosemite is wilderness, where there are no roads, no buildings, and where nature is dominant. Driving times may be longer than you might think. For example, getting from Yosemite Valley to the high elevations like Tuolumne Meadows takes about an hour and a half. Traveling from Yosemite Valley to the park's largest sequoia grove takes almost 2 hours, an hour for driving and another 30 to 60 minutes to catch a shuttle or hike. So you may not be able to see everything in just one visit, but you'll be able to see plenty. And there's a lot to do just in Yosemite Valley, which is the most famous and popular part of the park. Starting in Yosemite Village, there are restaurants, gift shops, and a grocery store. We have a welcome center where you can plan your trip and an exploration center that's a great place to learn more about the park. There's a museum, a gallery, and a reconstructed Indian village where you can explore the culture of Yosemite's first people. To see Yosemite Valley beyond the village, you can use your car, but during the busy seasons, parking and traffic can be difficult. Free shuttles are a great alternative. They stop at most of the valley's main trailheads and attractions. Some stops are only separated by a 10-minute walk, and shuttles can have long wait times on busy days. So walking and biking are also great ways to get around. If you don't have a bike, you can rent them spring through fall. Lower Yosemite Fall is near Yosemite Village and has a shuttle stop. Here, there's a famous 20-minute walk to the base of the fall, and one of the two routes is wheelchair accessible. All waterfalls dry out or run low by late July or August and won't return until late fall or winter, so adjust your expectations accordingly. Another classic Yosemite Valley walk starts across the road from this same shuttle stop. The Cooks Meadow Loop is wheelchair accessible and winds its way through stunning scenery. Help protect wildlife by not approaching animals or giving them food. And please stay on the trails to protect nesting birds and rodents hidden in the meadow grass. Shuttles also stop at Happy Isles, where you'll find an art and nature center and enchanting strolls along the river. A short walk across the bridge is the trail to Vernal Fall. Hiking to the top of Vernal Fall and back is a steep 1.5 miles each way. For your safety, please stay fully on trails. Creeks and rivers here can be cold, swift, and deadly. Another stop is the trail for Mirror Lake, which is actually more of a meadow except in spring. You can hike a mostly flat mile each way to the lake or meadow. You can also do a 5-mile loop below Half Dome. If you want to venture outside of Yosemite Valley, we have 3 suggestions. The first one is right here at Glacier Point. This is a 1-hour drive with incredible views. The road to Glacier Point is usually open from sometime in May until sometime in November. Remember that you're driving in wildlife habitat, so staying under the speed limit will help save wildlife. You may see signs throughout the park where bears have recently been hit by cars. Also, be aware that the Glacier Point parking lot often fills up midday in June through August, so try to visit before 10 a.m. in the summer. Our second suggestion is the Mariposa Grove of Giant Sequoias. It's just over an hour's drive from Yosemite Valley to the parking lot. From there, free shuttles take you to the grove from around March through November. Or you can hike to the grove on an uphill 4-mile round-trip trail. Once there, you can enjoy the main wheelchair-accessible loop or venture on longer explorations to quieter parts of the grove. On your trip back from the grove, you can stop in Wawona to visit the Yosemite History Center and learn about some of the people who shaped the park's development. The last destination beyond Yosemite Valley that we'll mention is the furthest, Tuolumne Meadows. This 1.5-hour drive on Tioga Road takes you through beautiful scenery to the Sierra Nevada's largest subalpine meadow. Tioga Road is typically open from May or June until sometime in November. These meadows are fragile, and we ask that you stay on the trails, leaving only footprints and taking only pictures. We hope we've given you the information you need to plan your day. These are just a few of the options, and you won't be able to do them all. But remember, whatever you choose, wherever you land, you can't go wrong. Have a great day and enjoy your park.
So see, obviously, Mary Carol, welcome in, welcome in. Good to see you.
Yeah.
Hello, hello. Long time no see, Mary. Glad you come. obviously there's some great, beautiful areas,
Yes.
but I do have to remind people some of the biggest mistakes people make going to these, and I try to make it a little funny about taking Yogi home, but the problem is what people, and I'm serious, and we talked about this before, and I told you one of the mistakes I've seen is, and I told the story about going to Gatlinburg where people have actually thrown food to the black bears.
Yep.
People got to understand is these bears, they're natural habitats. If you disrupt it and you start feeding them, they kind of get aggressive.
Yep.
So, I mean, so the best thing to do is make sure you just stand back, enjoy the beauty and the scenery of it, take pictures.
Yep.
Just let them do their natural habitat thing.
Yeah.
I mean, and sometimes I don't know about how you feel, Richard, but when I'm watching wild animals like that, like this morning, I was at work, I saw a gray fox.
Oh, cool.
Early this morning. Just to watch, we stopped and just let it walk and watched it go across it was coming through our FFA farmland area.
Okay.
Because that's where we have our burn pile when we have to burn things.
Yeah.
But that's what I'm talking about. We didn't bother it. We turned off the thing and just watched it for a couple of minutes.
Yep.
Doing that is the best thing. Sometimes that's the best, most relaxing view that you can get. And can you imagine? And this was just out of the school. Imagine being in the park like Yosemite National Valley Park, where you're getting these views. I mean, would you agree, Richard?
Yeah, I would agree.
I'm doing good, Mary.
Yep.
It's actually a good day today, so I hope you're having a great day. And good to have you in. Now, see, here's the thing, and it's interesting that how they say that the waterfall only goes from a certain time to a certain time and then will not return until wintertime again.
That's right.
And what people got to understand is those are coming off the glaciers up at the top of the mountain because of the high elevation of the mountains.
Yes.
And when it melts, I believe that's what causes those waterfalls. I mean, yes, you got rivers and all that run through the mountains, but some of those glaciers is what comes there, and then they dry up once winter totally is melted. Then they start, once the waters run through, then some of them do stop until the next winter.
Yeah.
I mean, and I would love to, if any of you guys have been to Yosemite and want to share some of your stories, please please put it in the chat. I mean, that was beauty. And see, that's all spring and summer. Can you imagine what is your opinion on, would you want to see it during, let me ask you this, Richard, would you want to see it during the wintertime?
It's going to be a different kind of beautiful, I would say.
Shall we find out?
Sure.
This is visiting Yosemite in the national wintertime, guys.
Yep.
Hi, I'm Tom Medema, a park ranger here in Yosemite National Park. Winter in Yosemite is a pretty well kept secret, but I'm here to tell you it's something that everyone can and should enjoy. While you may think that winter driving in the Sierra is something to be avoided, Yosemite is actually very accessible throughout the entire winter season. The park has amazing crews that keep the roads clear in all but the most major of storms. It is true that you'll need to carry tire chains in your vehicle, But driving to Yosemite Valley rarely requires using chains if you enter the park on Highway 140 through Mariposa. Still, chains can be a necessary and even adventurous part of visiting in winter. And let's not forget, there's daily bus service to Yosemite Valley from Merced. So if you want, you can just relax and leave the winter driving to a professional. Higher elevation areas like Tioga Road, Glacier Point, and Mariposa Grove are closed to vehicles in the winter. But most of the park's roads remain open. Hotels and restaurants buzz with activity, and many offer special rates and events that just add to the experience. Once you realize that Yosemite is an accessible playground in the winter, the doors are wide open to new adventures. Some of the trails in Yosemite Valley are often clear enough for hiking in winter, like this one. This is the Valley Loop Trail, which winds through some of the most classic and iconic scenery in Yosemite National Park. The Yosemite Falls Trail is another great option because it gets a lot of winter sun and can be quite dry on the lower sections.
Yosemite Valley is a great place to visit in the winter. You can explore at your leisure, really take things at your own pace. Even if a storm rolls in or it gets a little chilly, there's lots of indoor activities for you. There's the Yosemite Exploration Center. It has a great range of natural and cultural history exhibits. There's also the theater right behind that. You can check out the park film. Right next door to all of that is the Indian Cultural Museum. It's a good place to learn about the human history and story of the park. Last but not least, if you head over to the Welcome Center, you will find volunteers and rangers ready to help you trip plan.
Another great winter activity in Yosemite is ice skating in Curry Village. This has been a tradition in Yosemite Valley for decades and is still a memorable way to spend time under the tall pines and the towering cliffs. But perhaps the best thing about visiting in winter is just getting out and enjoying the snow. There are snow play areas near 2 of our park entrances specifically designed for getting out and having fun in the snow.
If you find yourself in Yosemite one day, congratulations. And if you find yourself in Yosemite one day in the middle of winter, even better. What I encourage you to do is try snowshoeing. It's a lot of hard work, but at the same time, it's a lot of fun. And there's an even more important component, and that's the component of discovery. Whenever you go out into a meadow or a forest after a major winter storm, it always feels like you're the first person to ever have stepped foot in that particular area. So there's always a sense of discovery, and there's always a sense of control and silence and stillness and wonder and beauty. All of those things are all wrapped up in the quiet of the snow.
Well, here we are at Badger Pass, one of the most historic and important ski areas in the American West. People have been sliding on the snow at Badger for the better part of a century. No long lift lines, no condos, no pretense. Just great natural snow, amazing instruction, an incredible sun deck, and great skiing and snowboarding for the entire family. If quieter exploration is more your style, cross-country skiing is definitely worth a try. Just a few hundred yards of skiing can take you worlds away from the noise of civilization. The silence of this landscape under snow is a magical thing to experience. For beginners, it's easy to rent equipment, take lessons, and go on guided trips. For more skilled skiers, there are long-distance groomed trails and boundless backcountry terrain. Wow, there is so much fun and excitement to be had in Yosemite in the wintertime. The park is really accessible, the crowds are small, there are so many new things to discover and enjoy. You really need to come check it out. So when you're thinking about your next visit to Yosemite, picture Yosemite Valley draped in a blanket of white, with plenty of room to stay and plenty of room to play. Yosemite in winter, there is no place like it on earth.
All right. I can't say enough.
Yeah.
You know, for me, that is absolutely gorgeous. You are
Yeah.
not going to get any better view than what we just saw.
Yep.
And I'm not a big winter person myself anymore, but to see sights like that and do something like that,
Yep.
and maybe even get Mike out there and pelt him with a few snowballs a little bit,
Oh.
you know, just so he can remind him of New Jersey, you
Oh
know.
boy.
But no, I mean, what is your opinion on? I mean, after looking at the video, what are your thoughts, Richard?
I would love to do something like that someday. So, you know what? I would love to go to this park.
I mean, would you do the natural activities around that area, or would you be doing the skiing, or
I would
think you
probably
might
do some of the skiing. I do know how to cross country ski. I've done it before.
Something that I wouldn't probably mind trying.
Yeah, it's fun.
Never tried it, but that would probably be something I wouldn't mind experiencing.
It's been over 10 years for me, but I have done it before.
Nice. Again, though, here's the thing about it. And here's the other thing. You're talking wintertime. Now you're talking some of the animals are now hibernating at this point in time.
Yes.
So now you're going to see, here's the other interesting fact about that you're going to get to see a whole different twist.
Yep.
Of natural animals out there that don't hibernate, that roam free during, that you might not see because they're more protective, because you know they got the natural enemies that where they don't have to worry them about during the wintertime as they would during the summertime, when you know, like bears and other mountain lions and things like that roam free during the thing.
Keep on the trails, especially at wintertime. You don't want to you don't want to wake a sleeping bear.
And here's the thing. We'll go back. I do want to share about the protecting of the park, but
Dangerous River. Okay.
I do want to talk about you know, when you're just some of the dangers that you have to be careful of. So we'll talk about that in a minute.
Yep.
Yosemite 911.
Hello, I'm just calling because somebody fell from Nevada Falls.
Okay, how far did they fall?
I don't know. I think they went down the waterfall.
Confirm was he in the water at the top and then went over?
She said, yeah, she just see him go over.
Okay, got it. Thank you. Go ahead now. Can you stay on the lead?
We were hiking, and you know, we've hiked some pretty intense terrain before. You know, it was no big deal. It was a hard hike. We were really hot, so we thought we'd just break off the trail and go into the stream. You know, I mean, so we took one of those little trails and we took our shoes off and started to wade out. You know, I was only ankle deep. We kayak, we've done things. You know, we've been in some rough water. It was really slick, and it was loud. I thought I heard him yell, "Whoa, buddy, don't come out any farther." The water was calm where we were, and I saw him. He fell in. He just slipped under and I ran down the bank to try to catch him. And I couldn't even really get a reach out. He kept going and he went under. Just disappeared.
Search and rescue is on the way. Search and rescue is on the way.
Guys, I'm going to tell you,
Yeah.
30 years of experience as a lifeguard instructor, as a water safety instructor. Don't play with water. Don't play with your life. I'm telling you, as a travel agent, I want you to have the most magical experience.
Yeah.
In these parks. Admire the view. Enjoy the sights and sounds of the nature around you. Enjoy the beauty. Enjoy the colors. You know, whether you go during the summer, spring, fall, winter.
Yep.
You're going to get different colors and it's going to be natural beauty. But what you saw there is somebody not thinking. You know,
Yeah.
it's somebody that's thinking, okay, we've been on treacherous terrain before. I've seen people that have messed with water who were experienced swimmers get in trouble because of what they call currents. Currents are always in the rivers, in the streams, especially around the falls.
Yes.
I don't know if I can stress anymore that when you're walking and you're natural hiking, guys, stay to the. Richard said it himself.
Yeah.
You know, when you're going hiking through these parks, let somebody know where you're going.
Yeah.
Let them know how long it's going to take you. You know, stick to the trails. Don't wander off. That's what they did. You heard the video. They wandered off, and they got in trouble. What's your opinion on the video, Richard?
He could have been smarter, a lot smarter, really. It's fine. He wanted to go into the water right by the falls. I guess he went into the water right by the falls. So, if you're going to try to go to the water, go to a side trail or something like that, don't try to do it where you know there's going to be higher currents. Stay away from that.
I'm going to tell you this.
Yeah.
I'm going to tell you this. Go to the swimming areas.
Go to the areas that are designated for it. Yes.
Yeah. I mean, agree? Would you agree? I mean, that's being plain.
Yep. Yeah.
And I want to play the other one because this guy's here beautiful but deadly. Again.
Yeah. Oh. Yeah.
It's deceiving. Its coldness is deceiving. Its strength is deceiving. And the things it hides from you is deceiving. When whitewater is really violent, it's aerated. There's so much air in the water, you can't float in that. You're not going to swim through that. It's beautiful to look at, but it's deadly.
Hi, my name is David Pope. I serve as a Deputy Chief of Emergency Services here in Yosemite. Over the last decade, there have been 16 water-related fatalities in the park. Yosemite's powerful rivers and creeks present serious dangers. Nearly all of our fatal accidents occur when visitors leave the trail. People scramble on rocks that line the riversides. They pose for photos, dip their hands and feet into the water, and even attempt to cross rivers by hopping from boulder to boulder. the best advice that I can give you is to stay on the trail. The story you're about to hear is a common example of how visitors get into trouble. In this case, two hikers tried to cross a creek that looked deceptively shallow and calm.
We noticed that we were kind of at this section of, I believe, Tenaya Creek that was very calm. It looked pretty shallow. There were rocks that even kind of looked like stepping stones. So we untied our shoes, tied them around our necks, started to cross the river. Water got a little deeper than I thought it was going to, came up to about my stomach. And everything was okay. We were about halfway across. I figured we were out of the dangerous part. But then I just heard the most horrible thing. I hear my brother just kind of say my name really nervously and then just start screaming it. I turned around and he's just getting pulled into the rapids. It was probably one of the scariest things I've ever seen in my life. So I dove after him and managed to kind of push him towards this rock that was in the middle of everything. I got thrown against that rock right after that and sucked under the water and just held there for a good, 5 or 6 seconds, I'd say. Managed to pull myself up out of the water. So now my brother and I are both just sitting on this rock and he's freaking out. I'm doing my best to calm him down. He's thinking we're gonna die. I'm telling him, no, we're not. We're probably all right now. But fortunately, my grandma had been on the other side, and the minute my brother got sucked into the rapids, she had called search and rescue. And within about half an hour, maybe 45 minutes, search and rescue showed up, figured out a plan, and got us out of the rapids using a fire ladder.
I think people routinely underestimate the power of water. Even small rivers with low flow rates can sweep someone off their feet, causing them to hit their head and then be washed downstream.
People who fall into the water can be rapidly swept downstream and pinned under logs or rocks. In turbulent rivers, the foam generated by the churning of the water makes it impossible to breathe or swim.
Here in Yosemite, people also don't understand that the rocks can be very slick because they've been glacially polished and polished by the water. So they think, oh, maybe I can rock hop out to that point and get a great photo. When in reality, those rocks are very slick, even though they might not be wet. And all it takes is slipping into the water for a significant accident to occur.
Anytime you're near a flowing waterway, always pay attention to downstream conditions. What may look like a calm swimming hole could have dangerous white water just below. You need to be especially careful whenever you're near a waterfall. Yosemite's world-famous waterfalls are places where people have tragically died. If you slip into the water at the brink of any sizable drop-off, you will almost certainly be carried over the edge, and you will likely not survive the plunge. Some of Yosemite's waterfalls have railings at the top. Do not climb on them or over them. The beauty of Yosemite's rivers and waterfalls provides an incredible experience for all to enjoy. However, you need to respect the dangers. Remember that the best way to stay safe is to stay on the trail. Enjoy your visit.
Can't say enough, guys.
Yeah.
There it is. They were walking completely again, not thinking smart enough, thinking that you got a clear watering, walking across, and again, all it took was a undercurrent tow to pull one of the gentlemen in.
Yeah.
So, I mean, obviously, you can't think enough. You have to. again, when you guys are going to parks like this, pre-plan ahead. This is stuff. I mean, as far as this, no evacuation routes in case for some reason you have to get out of there. Unfortunately, places like that are susceptible to forest fires because, again, humans are crazy and we do stupid things. So, I mean, sometimes they've had to rush people out of parks, things like that, and waterfalls happen. I'm telling you, that's like going to, and I know I've mentioned it plenty of times, and I know you've heard me mention it, going to Cumberland Gap, Richard.
Yeah.
And here's the thing. That's a slow moving thing, but it has a waterfall where in the front part of the park where you can go into the park and you can do the walking trails and that.
Yeah.
And then when you get under it, it's calm. But I can guarantee you there's a current there if you are stupid enough to try it.
Yeah.
And I don't use the term stupid lightly. I use it in the fact that it's people that do things that aren't, it's not that they're stupid. They're just doing, they're thinking at that moment.
Yeah. Is not correct.
Exactly.
They thought it was calm water that they were walking across with stepping stones. So, and it was not so. Wasn't meant to be,
And now they got lucky. They survived.
Yeah, they got lucky. Yeah.
But look at the story we watched before.
Yep.
The guy got what? I don't know. I mean, the guy got washed over the waterfall.
Yep.
And I mean, I know we've all watched anybody that has seen, and you can't help laughing, but how many of you remember the episode with Woody Woodpecker where that poor ranger kept going over the Niagara Falls?
Oh, yeah.
And then you got all those people in the middle of it standing at the view site going, yay! I mean, it's funny, but the reality of it is it's deadly and dangerous. It's beautiful. I think the best person put it the best way. And everybody pretty much knows this, and that's Bruce Lee.
Yes.
When he did an interview, he said martial arts is like water. It's beauty, because it takes the shape of whatever form it's in, whether it's a glass or whether it's the river around rocks, if it's the waterfall, and it's beauty. It looks peaceful, looks calm, but in the reality, it has a punch and power behind it.
Yeah.
Meaning, and eventually, I know we're going to put Mike in a barrel and let him go over Niagara Falls. He's always wanting to try it like Woody Woodpecker. We know that.
Hi, guys.
Hi, Mike.
Hi, guys.
Good to see you, Mike.
Hello, Mike.
How are you?
Good.
I was just picking on you, but seriously, and I don't know if you got to catch the videos we were just watching.
Yeah.
Both me and Richard agree that the bottom line is the people in these videos, this is how dangerous a park can be if you're being stupid.
Try to keep safe.
It's like throwing food to a wild animal.
Absolutely.
In this case, they were talking about one person that went over a waterfall.
Oh,
and the other one, two people got stuck on a rock because they tried to cross the stream that they thought was calm and peaceful, but they don't understand those streams, whether you're near a fall or not, have current.
Yeah.
Absolutely. That's why they have barriers for a reason.
Yes.
That's why they put up signs.
Yeah.
That's why you stay on the trails.
Yeah, that's why you stay on the trail.
Because when you get near waterfalls, they're gonna have railings close up to the waterfalls where it's safe, but good pictures.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But people still try to be, and the thing of it is, and if you looked at the video, you need to go back and watch some of the videos that we showed earlier. It's Richard. I mean, we saw a video on winter. We saw a video on summer.
Summer, yeah.
Is it not one of the most gorgeous parks you have ever seen?
Yeah.
I mean, as far as, but the reality of it is, you have to be smart. You have to plan. You have to be safe, because you're dealing with wild animals that aren't behind. You're not at a zoo. You're in an open wild that they own the land.
Exactly.
You know, which means staying on the thing, staying away from staying from the river, staying on the paths that are near the streams and the rivers, and
Well, even with the snakes and things, I mean, you need to be the observant of the where you are at all times. I mean, people, I think, lately have been not respecting the parks, honestly, because every once in a while I see on the news and I'm like, and I'm like, here we go again. It's like,
yeah, exactly.
It's like, this is why people are getting, I mean, it's really tricky, because these are national landmarks within the United States, and it's like, I have such a problem with that kind of behavior, honestly. And it's like, it's like, I get that you want to take like the quote unquote over the perfect picture, but
there's been
there's like a fine line with that, and it's like once you go over that line, it's like, good luck. You're not within with other safety stuff.
Still try to take those pictures as you can, but just know that if you're going to try to take it with wildlife or
Good luck.
animals, keep it at a safe distance.
Absolutely.
There has to be a fine line between what you need and what you can get. So.
And here's the thing: it's not just protecting you guys, but it's protecting the wildlife. I mean, you want to be able to. And I was telling Richard a while ago, Mike, that this morning when I was at work, we were taking some stuff down to the land lab, which is in part of where our burn pile is, and it's part of where FFA keeps their farmland and vegetables and all that. We saw a great fox this morning, and the sun was just coming up, and it was totally beautiful. So, nice. I mean, it's also about protecting the wildlife and the habitat. In fact,
absolutely,
I'm about to do beers and food storage.
Right.
So we're going to kind of watch this, and we're going to talk about it.
And I've seen videos of, I'm going to be honest with you, I've seen videos of bears literally destroying the car completely.
I've seen bears climb on top of cars. I've seen videos of bears destroy camps because people are not, they're not doing what. So we're gonna watch this video, guys, and then we'll talk more. I'm assuming Richard had to leave.
Yes, I have no idea. I just got here.
Now there is no audio; it's just video, guys. So it's about 4 minutes, but I want you to watch this.
Okay.
Now notice, and what you guys are seeing is that some of these animals. Here you go. Damage about 100 cars. Aha! There you go. You were talking about damaging cars.
Oh yes. Because I've seen videos of it, and it's not pretty.
Ooh. Read this, guys. Just what this is, and this is from leaving stuff in a vehicle.
Absolutely.
know, and see, some bears are active during the winter.
Oh yes. Oh yes. If they're hungry, they will find a way.
Especially during winter.
Oh, absolutely.
Look at that. A bear climbing into a car.
My goodness.
And just pulled out a loaf of bread.
Yep.
See, and this is what I'm telling you guys.
Especially with the cubs. Especially if the mom's nearby with the cubs. Oh yeah.
Bears have to be killed every year for dangerous or destructive behavior.
I will say that
bears pay the price for people. This is, guys.
See, this is exactly why they travel agent do this. See,
as a travel agent, I'm trying to tell you,
mm-hmm.
make sure you're smart about what you're doing when you do go to these parks, because it can be the most beautiful place you've ever seen.
Absolutely.
Or it can become or it can become very bad because of a few mistakes.
Absolutely. Now, for me personally, I would stay in a hotel. I actually would.
See, look at this.
Mm-hmm.
This is about food storage.
I'm glad
when you're staying, even in a cabin, store your things in the storage.
Right.
See, staying in the cabin or room, take all food inside with you.
Mm-hmm.
These are just some tips, guys, that when you whether you if you ever decide to do a camp, whether you're staying in whether you're staying on a campground or staying in a cabin, be smart about it. Make sure clean up your campsite to protect the forest. Put trash in a bear-proof trash can or dumpster.
Now, I like that, honestly. I will be honest with you.
The fact,
I never even heard that. Good. I'm glad they do that. I'm really glad they do that.
Yes, you can be fined or towed, because unfortunately, one, it kills the bears when you're speeding. Obey the laws.
Wow, absolutely.
Make sure, it's beautiful to see the bears, but be smart about it. Make sure you're smart about protecting your food, protecting your property, and leaving food and all that in the car.
Yeah.
That's not protecting your property. That's leaving
Absolutely
it.
Not.
Obviously, guys, this is about protecting the habitat, protecting the park.
I think that it's good that, they have these videos for the people to watch. And I'll be honest with you, if I was staying at one of these places, I would be going to the nearest Holiday Inn. I'm sorry, but I am one of those people who's like,
here's the thing. You cannot let it scare you. You can't let it scare you. I love camping.
Right.
I would be more the one that would probably try to become more of a glamour camper, but I do love tent camping.
Mm-hmm.
But my thing is, if I was to do tent camping, I would be smart. I would be following the rules, putting my
absolutely.
If I'm doing a camping, my food would go into a food locker.
Absolutely.
I would be putting my trash into the bear-proof trash. I would not be keeping the food in the car.
Right.
It's all about it's all about being smart and doing what is right and legal in the parks. You can, otherwise, and I tell you, Mike, if you really want to see some beautiful views, go check out the summer video and visiting Yosemite and the winter video. You'll find out just how beautiful this national park is. And as a travel agent, guys, I fully recommend visiting this park. It's, just be smart about it. Make sure you go at, if you really want to experience the park, don't go midday. Go either early morning or early afternoon, so you're not fighting the traffic, especially during the summer months.
Yeah.
Where if you try to go at like 10 or 11 in the morning, you're gonna it could take you 2 to 3 hours to get in these parks.
Absolutely.
You have, and plus the fact, make sure, and this is why I'm saying, if you are going to parks like this, talk to a travel advisor.
Absolutely.
They can set all this stuff up for you, a travel advisor.
Yep.
Or connect you to whatever you need to set up things like this.
Absolutely. One of the things that I would recommend would be to make sure that you have enough gas in your cars, because if you're going to be waiting for like 2 to 3 hours, make sure that you have enough gas.
Well, that's again, Mike. This is not about making sure you have enough gas.
Right.
This is called playing it smart and planning, being specific planning for going to a park like this.
Right.
And that means if you really want to experience the park, again, as a travel agent, and the videos will tell you. In fact, me and when Richard and me watched the first video, when we did the pre-recording 2 weeks ago, Richard, we agreed we loved it, and they said if you really want to avoid it and you really want to experience, you either hit the early morning at the park or you hit late evening where you're avoiding that traffic, because most people are either, it's easier, get there early enough to get in at a decent where the line is not totally backed up.
Yeah.
Or or come late evening where most people are going to be trying to get out of the park as you're trying to get in.
Yeah.
So it's about planning and strategizing wisely. As a well-knowing, where your help is, knowing where things are, know what you want to do in the park.
Yeah.
Whether it's going on a hiking thing or going to visit, like they said, the one area where it's trees or Glacier Point or, and sometimes be aware of this too. Particularly during they got know where your parking is.
Yeah.
Because if it gets busy in the park.
Oh yeah.
Even the videos, I would say, in a place like this, you may want to think about parking your car and using the buses to get to it.
Yes.
Because there's buses that go around that park.
Am
I missing anything, Richard? Or can you add
No,
anything?
not that I can think of. Yeah.
So, I mean, but it is an outright absolute beautiful national park.
Yeah.
And I would, whether you go through a travel agent or whether you go, because if you're planning it yourself and going through it, I would definitely make sure you guys check out the www.nps.gov/Yosemite National Valley.
Yeah.
Because it'll have all the information you need. Hopefully you guys are finding this information, whether you, for anybody that might be watching this currently, or maybe you might come back and watch the replay. But I can't say anything from you, Richard, because you've been watching these videos. Anything you can want to add to it?
No, just try to be safe, and then hopefully you get to have a great time for whatever trip you're planning and trying to go to. So,
so I think I actually am thinking. All right, guys. So I'm going to. Unfortunately, I have to do this. So you guys can take a breather. We will be back 2 and 2. At this point, it'll be 2 and 2.
Yep.
This is the Cantrell Country Travelway. I'm the agent and owner, David Cantrell. If you're looking to travel through the U.S. national parks or maybe to the waterways from beaches to ocean cruises, let the Cantrell Country Travelway help you find your magical vacation. All right, welcome back, guys. For any of you guys that might be watching, you can find the links in the description below the video. So if you want to contact me, there's the link to my Facebook travel aid page, the link to the travel agent profile, and I don't know if I put my Instagram, but I know at least the two of the links in. I think it's just those two links I put in there. Reach out to me. You, if you go to the travel agent profile, you'll have a way to either email me or call me directly by my business phone. So, and with that, so, you know what, Richard, you've been here for a while. Any final thoughts and what's going on? This is my partner channel again, Richard Blumenchiza.
Hello.
Anything going on any of your two channels?
Yes, Blumenchiza all the way to the end of the month. We'll be having a lot of Alani videos. There's one each day. There's a lot of things you can get to learn to do. There's already ukulele lessons you can listen to. I saved it onto my audio, and then I just basically slapped a photo in front of it. But there's a lot more that we'll be able to see also. So watch me to the end of the month for that one. Also, Park and Eat on the 28th will be having their first pretty big special. We're ramping up, and we'll be trying to have live shows coming up pretty soon, starting on Sundays. So it'll be still a few months away, but we still got some ramping up to do. We'll be talking on the 28th about Alani. There's a certain restaurant that we'll be talking about. I already have the promotion for it out there, and I'll try to push it out later today again. So we can get that going. The more I push out, it seems like the better it seems to be seen. So
Yes, particularly at the, depending on what time you put those videos out. I mean, there are some, I found out that, you know, some videos that I've put out at certain times have gotten higher views compared to that. But let me welcome in our good friend Mama D, Debbie.
Yes.
And
Hi.
friend Paul Engel.
Paul Engel's here too. Hi.
Yeah, it matters on the time zones for a lot of it. Weirdly, I have to, for me, a big time I found out when I do most of these is 12 o'clock Eastern Standard Time. So that would be noon. So that means for me, I'm pushing them out around 9 o'clock a.m.
Yep. That's right.
Yeah.
So let me ask you guys final thoughts on Yosemite Valley as we, I mean, I won't say we won't be back to.
Can't wait to visit
again
sometime.
down the road.
Yeah,
I'll probably visit it again down the road.
Possibly.
Obviously, I want to move on to some of the other parks. We got 10 million other parks in the U.S. Any final thoughts on your guys? I mean, what you have seen on the videos or just the pictures?
I'm putting a recommendation in for the next one. I'm thinking could either be a history, like we were talking about beforehand, Dave, or it can be something we've done a little bit of, both of us, which is Smoky Mountains.
Well,
I've never been there.
Because guess what? Gatlinburg is part of that.
It is.
It's the mountain range above Gatlinburg.
Yep.
The Smoky Mountains.
Yep. And that's where Dollywood is as well.
Yeah, that's where Dollywood is. Me and Dave has both been over around there. We could talk a little bit about that area.
Good.
Oh, I know.
Beautiful.
I know Gatlinburg pretty because Seaverville is right. Just Seaverville is right out of there.
Gatlinburg, Cedarville. We could talk about a lot of it.
Seaverville, Pigeon Forge, Gatlinburg on the other side of the mountain.
And all three of them are counted as Smoky Mountain.
Nice.
So
it's all part of the smoke. Well, I wasn't thinking that. I mean, I was at and we'll talk about that in a minute. But
Yeah.
final thoughts on Yosemite Valley.
Yosemite Valley was great. I just didn't really think of anything
Yeah, it
else
looks
that
like an
we
interesting
didn't
place.
touch. Yeah.
Looks like an interesting place.
Yep.
But again, and bringing up an interesting point, because eventually we will get to Gatlinburg.
Yeah. Because that's something we both done. That'd be something
It is something we've done.
riveted.
But I'm thinking I might go with Gettysburg because I might.
Okay.
I think I want to do something history thing.
Yep. Historic.
Then the week after that, I'll tell you what. Here's probably what it'll go.
Okay.
We may do Gatlinburg next week, or do Gettysburg next week, and then the week after that we'll do the Smoky Mountains. I think. So that'll be the next.
See.
That'll be the next.
We don't.
week.
I know Gatlinburg, or not Gatlinburg. We know Gettysburg is a big enough site. Also, it might take more than one stream.
Right, and I may change it. I'll let you guys know because I'm thinking because Gatlinburg and all that we can do in one night.
Yeah, we could probably do that one night. Well, maybe
we may do the Smoky Mountains next week and then start on Gettysburg.
We'll talk about it. Yeah.
Gettysburg had so much history between the battlefield and the town itself.
Yep.
Regarding the Civil War, that could take a 2-3 week as well.
Yeah, that's very true. Especially if you're into that. So yeah.
Yes.
Oh, I know another one I've been to that would be cool as a heritage site, which is Alamo.
That's a good one.
I've been to the Alamo, so.
That's right. You were there recently.
Yes, I was.
You were there, I believe, a couple months ago.
Yep. With my family, yeah.
Yes.
All right.
I know one place I would love to cover with upper history, Philadelphia. Because I know it very
it's
well.
not a national park on that one. Well, there might be one. Is there a national park in Philadelphia?
Let me check. Let me see if Philadelphia is.
But it's not a national. It's not on the national park. It is.
There
on
might be one on the national park there. I don't know. That's why I asked.
Landmarks as a city. It's got historical landmarks, and its city is a historical landmark, but it would not be considered a park.
It might be, Dave, because of the capital.
Yes.
The capital is counted as a national park.
Let me check.
The whole city of Philadelphia itself.
Oh no, the whole city is not. But I think the national landmark part.
Yeah, now
it's the old Capitol building, which is the original.
Yeah, where the Philadelphia Hall is. It's the Philadelphia.
Yes, and then also I think also the building the building that cites
the Independence Hall is one. The Liberty Bell is one.
The Liberty Bell, yes.
I know exactly where it is.
Bell is at Independence Hall.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes, they are both nearby. I know exactly where they are. I know exactly.
I've seen the Liberty Bell before.
Betsy Ross's house. I know where the entire thing is.
We may hit it.
Even the hit it.
But right now, my main goal is to hit
the park,
the natural, the natural open space, like Gettysburg.
And
that's because you think about the mountain. You got Round Top. Little Round Top, Big Round Top. You got the mountains that were involved with Gettysburg and the big open field where now down the road we will be hitting some of the landmarks. Like that.
I know the Alamo is counted as both a park and a heritage site.
Yeah.
Because there was a fight there at one time, and then they have reenactments like they do at Gettysburg.
Yes,
they do have them at both places.
Yes.
Anyway, all right. So, well, now let me get through the rest of the week's schedule for this show, and then we'll go back to that stuff in a minute.
Sure.
Okay,
guys, don't forget tomorrow night. I do look good. That's what I like.
Oh gosh.
I do look good.
Oh gosh.
Katie White did a good job. And seriously, make sure you guys join us tomorrow night at 7 p.m. for the Dave's Vacation Oasis. 7 p.m. on Tuesdays. Again, join us on Thursdays. And I do believe Mama D is joining me this week to finish up
Okay.
Fort Lauderdale. You guys are more than welcome to join us too.
Absolutely.
I mean, if you guys want to come in,
Fort
we are
Lauderdale. I
gonna
can talk
be-
about it a little bit. Yeah.
Yes,
Fort
we
Lauderdale
will be
once.
finishing up. We still have so much more to cover, so much to do down in Fort Lauderdale. We're going to finish up on Fort Lauderdale this week at 7, and I believe that. And of course, obviously, here's the schedule. And then don't forget, on my Space Mountain Dave channel, the Space Mountaineers Galaxy Chat, I'm hoping to get a whole heap of us in there on Saturday. I reached out to Nick and Claire. I've reached out to Stacy and Mike. I'm pretty sure Sheree may. She may be tired.
Okay.
She may be going down to every other week. I understand because work can get that. So,
yeah. And that's on Saturday, you said?
Yes.
Yeah.
It doesn't show it on that calendar. It just says 4 p.m. It doesn't say Saturday.
Did I forget it on that?
I think so.
Yeah.
Just that's the one edit you'll have to make is all.
Yes.
See?
Yep.
Galaxy Chat, 4
I
p.m.
don't know how-
We don't even know
Either
the
way,
day.
here's the thing, guys. It's the same time, and for anybody that's been on my channel knows that it's replacing. It's actually the two shows combined together, replacing at the Disney Extra News time, which is now the Galaxy Space Mountaineers.
Space Mountaineers Galaxy Chat.
Yes.
So, which means it will get wild. It will go off the rail, and we will. And of course, but we will reach into Disney topics. Which I got to throw something out. I know this is not travel stuff. Did you guys see the new trailer for the new Star Wars film coming out in 2026?
No.
Yes, I did.
No,
I
did
also
not.
seen the new trailer for the Deadpool versus Wolverine that came out yesterday.
Well, I'm done. You know what? I'm done over Marvel, and
I'm okay with Marvel. I like Marvel enough.
I'm not really a Marvel fan at all.
Marvel. They've done Marvel.
Unfortunately.
I'm okay
So
with it.
we may, since it is Disney stuff, we may just kind of talk about that a little bit tomorrow night, or we may save it for
Or Saturday night, yeah.
It might be Saturday because that actually falls into Disney.
Yeah.
So
and
since it's so I don't know what the topic will be for tomorrow night.
Right.
Debbie, Mama D did say she will be there on Thursday with us. So if you guys want to join me in, Debbie, on Thursday, we're going to finish up on.
Dave, wanted to talk about Princess Cruise Lines tomorrow. I believe that's the cruise line show.
We can actually. That's one.
Princess.
I have to see if that's one of my suppliers because that was one of the ones I wanted to look at to see if what's one of my suppliers. Because if it is, I want to take the training on Princess.
Yeah, I've taken all of it. So
cool.
Yeah.
So I don't know about you guys, but I gotta go have dinner yet. Hope you guys enjoyed. I hope you guys enjoyed Yosemite National Park. I think I am going to go with this next week, guys. Join us. Hopefully, I know you'll probably be eating dinner, so you may be joining us late again, Mike.
Yes.
But
that's probably what's going to be happening.
5 p.m. Again, spread the word to Molly. It will be live.
Yes.
We will be doing live. But it will be, I think we're going to do Smoky Mountain next week.
Okay.
And then we'll start Gettysburg the next week after that because, like I said, I can guarantee you it'll be 2 to 3 weeks on Gettysburg.
Okay.
Yeah. I'll do a little research on Smoky Mountains. Maybe they might have some videos too somewhere.
They might.
They might.
Anyways, with that, guys. So remember, if you guys are looking to travel, anybody that watches the replay, again, my agency is the Cantrell Country Travelway. Make sure you check out the links in the description box to reach out to me. I can help you with planning, or I can help you register your trips. Give me a call and I will reach out. We will talk and we will make the magical happen for you.
Yes.
Yep.
with that, guys, everybody have a great night. We'll see you tomorrow night at 7 p.m. And with this, I'm going to say, let the Cantrell Country Travelway help you find that magical vacation. Bye-bye.
Bye, guys.
Bye.